I don't speak English natively, so sorry for my English speaking skills. A is red for me because like red is the first color other than black and white. B is black for me, and A is the first letter. B is black for me because I feel like B is B often appears as the first number, as the first letter of words, which somehow means that it is a standard thing, and black and white are the standard colors. And as to why B isn't white for me, I don't really know. C is yellow because vitamin C pills are sometimes yellow. I guess that's because of things like orange, lemons, which which contains much vitamin C rather than like the actual chemical is yellow in itself, I guess. Like C is yellow for me. D is uh, kind of like orange, but more less pure than orange. That kind of color for me because I feel like D is a more stable or like solid version of C because it is like a reversed C plus a column and it looks more stable than C. And I somehow feel that a darker or less saturated color is more stable in some sense, or it's closer to the color of earth, dirt, so it's more stable, like a building sitting on the dirt. E is basically dirty yellow for me because vitamin E pills, like that kind of vitamin E pills that come from fish, tend to be this color. So E is dirty yellow for me. F is basically gray but slightly blue for me. And I feel like F is like E minus a roll, a strike, a stroke, not a strike, a stroke, which invalidates it. And gray is like the invalid color. As to why is it like bluish, I don't really know. G is black for me, which I don't really know why. I feel like it may have something to do with the last uh, vertical stroke. Basically, it's a C plus a vertical stroke, and that vertical stroke seems to basically make the letter more dense, and dense things are like full of things. So like, it's it's black, it's dark because it's full of things. It's heavy. That may be why. Also, I'm not sure like why F is great for me. I don't really know. To be honest, like I really don't like letters in general, I guess. But like if I have to give them colors, I guess like this is intuitive ones for me. I is white for me because I'm not sure. I guess one of the reasons is that I is the imaginary unit, and like somehow as a unit, like as a fundamental thing, I is like as fundamental as one, right? So as such a fundamental thing, I feel like it should be plain, which means it should be black or white, and I don't know why it is white rather than black, but here it is. J is golden for me because so so in poker there is a card J and there are trump cards which are not J, but there is not one J. There are four J's and two trump cards, right? But like I somehow feel that J can, so J is related to like poker, and poker is related to those two trump cards, and and the characters on those two trump cards seem to be related to J for some reason. Is it because they're called jokers? I'm not sure. I don't speak English natively. K is black for me because K is also kind of a dense looking, and if it has to have a second reason, I would say like in CMYK. So in the color system used for printing things, K stands for black. L is gray for me. I'm not sure. Like the feeling I can remember is that L stands for 50 in a romantic number. Is it called romantic? Uh, and somehow 50 is gray. So like 0 is like one extreme and 100 is the other, and L is in the middle, which means it is gray, just like gray is the middle of black and white. But by the way, like I'm not sure it's like, for example, it's because I feel like L is gray at first, then I feel uh, 50 is maybe gray second, or it's the other way around. Although like if it's that way, then the in the middle reason doesn't really work. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like maybe like it's, for example, maybe I feel I is white first, then I feel like the imaginary unit should be white secondly, which is also possible. I don't really remember. And M is M is like the color of copper. I don't really know why. I somehow feel that M is like has something to do with copper. I don't really know. Also, an obvious thing is that McDonald's logo is like the M part is yellow, but like it's on the red background. So like if you mix red and yellow, it's orange, which is basically the color of copper. So I'm not really sure why M is like copper color for me. Just like I'm not really sure for the other letters. So N, and the color of the color of N is like very vague in my head. I feel like N is like M but less. It's like M minus a column. So it's kind of a vague version of the color of M. And O is white for me because O is like 0, and 0 is like nothing, and white is also nothing. P is blue for me because the parking sign. I don't know how the parking sign looks like in your area. I'll add a picture here. Q is the weirdest letter, and I feel like purple is the weirdest color. So why is Q the weirdest color? So like first of all, it like in some fonts on the screen or on the book, like the tail of Q, like it penetrates into the O basically. But like when I wrote this letter first, they asked me to not let the tail to penetrate into the O part. This is a kind of weird thing for me. And the small letter, the way you write small letter Q is just weird. I think it's different than other. So like at the end of your stroke, it has a like a sharp ending. I like P, which seems to be the opposite, but like it's just not like Q. Q is weird. And as to why purple is weird, I'm not sure why purple is weird. Is Q really purple for me? I don't really know. Maybe Q is not purple for me. It's also a vague color for me. It also has a vague color for me. R is like on the screen you may think that seeing the screen, you may think that R is black for me, but like if you look at it really closely, it is slightly blue. As to why, I don't really know. I feel like R is similar to P, right? But but it is supposed, or like I guess the better way to describe it is that it wants itself to be black, if that makes sense. Like the letter R, it's not like supposed. Like no people ask R to be black, I suppose, but like it wants itself, and its identity is black. It's a black color. So it's not like it strives to become a black color. Being a black color is like its dream. It's not like that, but it it just identifies itself as black. So even though it is basically P plus a tail, like it is still black. It is only like basically has a has clothes which are blue maybe. So as I don't feel like as have a color, and so like if I don't feel like as have a color, then like it probably it will be probably white or black, like in theory I guess, but I don't know why S isn't white but it's black, but it is just more black than white for me. If that makes sense. T is purple because there's a T distribution, I think, in statistics, and so it has something to do with math, which like I mean there are many other letters that have something to do with math. All letters have something to do with, but like somehow I just noticed, or like the T distribution thing is just in my mind, uh, and I know a university whose logo is purple, so somehow T is purple for me. U is like a less saturated, and a more pale, I guess it's paler. I don't know, a version of uh like greenish dirt yellow, you know? Because urine is basically orange, which is basically which basically is uh dirt yellow. But I don't know why U has some green, more green into it, and U is also like kind of pale for some reason than like the color of urine. I don't really know. V is, so it is very light gray, so it's basically white, but it is slightly black for me. So it is slightly gray for me because V is sharp, and like metal is also sharp, and metal is used for electronics, and electronics. Well, why do I say electronics? Like the metal itself is silver colored. I don't know why it has to have something to do with electronics. Whatever. W is basically double V, which in some language it is, I guess. I'm not sure. But like, because it has two sharp points, it is less sharp in general. And so it's more gray than V, which means, and V is pretty pale and white gray. So that means W is slightly darker. X is black for me, which I don't know why. Y is also pretty white for me because the upper part of Y is basically V. I guess that's a reason. Also, like Y is like it only has one leg. Like if you see the alphabet, like not many letters have only one leg. Y has only one leg, which means it is not that stable. And as it is not that stable, it is white. Somehow I don't know why. And Z is black for me because it is the last letter, I guess. Also, it's also pretty vague. Its color is also pretty vague in my mind. So I also have colors for numbers, but I will not talk about that now. And please watch my other videos. The the content of like my recent videos are just not important at all. Please watch my videos from a longer time ago. See you.